Welcome to our video lesson on dividing fractions. Before we can actually get into dividing fractions, we need to talk about reciprocals. That's this word right here. Two numbers are reciprocals if their product is 1. Okay, what operation do we mean by product? Hopefully you're thinking product means multiplication. So two numbers are reciprocals if when we multiply them together we get 1. The reciprocal of 2/3 is 3 over 2, so 3/2. Let's check what we get when we multiply them together. 2 times 3 is 6, and 3 times 2 is 6, which is equal to 1. So that fits our definition of reciprocal. Take a look at those numbers. Do you notice anything special about them? Hopefully, you notice that 2/3 and 3/2 are just the numbers flipped around. So we have the 2 on the top in the first one and the 3 as the denominator. And in the second one, the 3 is our numerator on the top and the 2 is our denominator. Okay, think to yourself, what's the reciprocal then of 4/9? It should be 9/4 or 9/4. And the reciprocal of 5 over 1 would be, 1 over 5 would be 5 over 1. You can check and see if these fit the definition of reciprocals, but they all will. Now, in the little box on the top right of your guided note, please write down a pair of your own reciprocals, one that you've made up. When you've done that, click play to continue. Now we can talk about dividing fractions. Our first step is to find the reciprocal of our second fraction. Our second step is to multiply the first fraction and the reciprocal, and the last step is to simplify. My hint to help you remember this is keep, change, flip. There is a mistake on your guided note and in here. This should be keep, change, flip. Please fix that on your note. It's like keep, change, but in this situation we're doing keep, change, flip. So let's do this first example together. We need to find the reciprocal of the second fraction. Our second fraction is this one. So the reciprocal of 5/6 would be 6/5. And if you want to check if when you multiply them together their product is 1, you go 5 times 6 is 30, and 6 times 5 is 30, and 30 over 30 is equivalent to 1. So we're good. Then we need to multiply the first fraction and the reciprocal. So we're keeping the first one, changing division to multiplication, and flipping or taking the reciprocal of our second fraction. So we have 5/10, which is the same, times 6/5. Well, awesome, we know how to do this. We did this a few days ago. 5 times 6 is 30, and 10 times 5 is 50. Now we need to simplify. The common denominator of 30 and 50 is 10. So I'm going to divide 30 by 10. 10 goes into 33 times, and 10 goes into 55 times. So our answer to this division problem is 3/5. Let's do the next one together. You have 7 cups of birdseed. You use 2/3 of a cup of seed each week. How long will your birdseed last? Okay, whenever you have a word problem, your first step is to cube it. So we need to circle the numbers and units. So we need to circle cups. And then circle 2/3 and cups. Underline important math words. I would say use, each week, how long. And then last one is to box the question. And our question is, how long will your bird seed last? All right. Hopefully that's helped you figure out what you need to do. I have 7 cups of bird feed, and because I use 2/3 of a cup a week, I'm going to divide 7 by 2/3 to figure out how long my 7 cups will last. Okay, this is interesting because 7 here is a whole number, and I need a fraction to divide fractions by fractions. How do I write 7 as a fraction? It's exactly the same way we did it with multiplication. You write it with a denominator of 1. So now we have 7 over 1 divided by 2/3. Now we're going to keep, change, flip. So we keep 7 over 1, change division to multiplication, and flip our 2/3, take the reciprocal, so it's 3/2. Now we multiply them. 7 times 3 is 21, and 1 times 2 is 2. Now we need to simplify. Or write it as a mixed number. We're going to divide 21 by 2. 2 goes into 2 once. 1 times 2 is 2. Subtract it, get a 0, and bring down that 1. 2 cannot go into 1, so I write a 0 up here. Please make sure to remember to write the 0. Sometimes people forget that. 0 times 2 is 0. Subtract it, and we have a remainder of 1. Now to write this as a mixed number, I know that 2 goes into 21 10 whole times, so that becomes my whole number. My denominator stays the same as 2, and then my remainder is 1. Now we're not done yet. Please remember your word answer. So our word answer is 10.5 weeks. Our birdseed will last us 10.5 weeks. Okay, this last one, I'd like you to do it on your own. Pause the video, and when you're done, click play, and I'll show you the answer. All right, now that you've tried it, your answer should be 3/4. If you didn't simplify, you make sure that you simplified it to get your answer as 3/4. All right, that's all for dividing fractions. Right now, choose the option you'd like to do for practice and get started practicing your skills. That's all for now. I'll talk to you later.